I have to talk about the weather. That's my thing. I was gonna say the best and worst thing. Actually, it's a bad thing about living in Florida. We don't have seasons. I'm down here, Tampa, so
Darn
we
right.
are Caribbean, right? Or whatever our weather pattern is. I have no idea. You go to Target. I'm like, oh, I need a shirt. I need this. I need shorts. Well, it's January. It's freezing everywhere, sort of. There's no shorts. Like we follow the seasons with the rest of the country. I don't get it.
Oh,
Like,
that's funny.
don't
I
they
thought you were
see
going
it?
to
So
complain
there's
about.
winter clothes in.
Sorta, yeah. But there's no like if you're going to summer cold, you need like a winter
You
coat,
know
That's
whatever
why?
that is. That's
You
not
know why?
available.
Because 60 degrees in Florida
Yeah,
is
you got to pull
like
out.
It is
is
winter.
like 30
It is.
degrees
But we're 60 for
for
like
us.
half a day. That's the trouble. So we're really one season. They should keep the same clothes year round, and then have like a little stand of like, here's the jackets, here's the hoodies. Yeah, we're hoodie season where I'm at. You need a hoodie, some
Mm.
jeans, and that's it. We just don't go outside. So shopping for the builder show I'm like, it's
you
me
know what
freezing.
else you
There's nothing
need?
over there. Oh goodness.
You know what else you need?
Ooh, a lot.
Is a plaid shirt.
I need a plaid shirt. Yeah,
That's
flannel.
right.
We don't have many flannel options, right? Because it's not there. It's like there's a little bit,
Yeah.
but there's not enough.
Yeah,
I do need a plaid shirt.
you need a heavy
Yeehaw.
flannel.
Yeah. You got to be afraid to
Cotton.
stand out from the crowd, Andrew.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
this
true.
shirt was gifted to me by Jen Barkin,
Oh,
and I love it.
is it fancy? I have been watching Yellowstone. I tell everyone about it.
So
almost a
I
cowboy.
don't typically wear plaid shirts,
Mhm.
right? But I have a few from my motorcycle riding days.
Oh, motorcycle gang.
My husband, has basically collected all these shirts because he's a collector of things.
Mhm.
And this
Shoes,
company,
sure.
Dixon, you guys would probably really appreciate the marketing because
Look at it.
they name all of their shirts after certain things. Like each shirt is named certain, like this is the Freddie. They have like a breast cancer awareness
at it.
one. They have anyway, like all different types of shirts.
There we go. Equalizer, Northern Dawn.
Equalizer is the one I got,
Copper.
Kevin. Okay,
There we go.
so I wore
see it.
this
Yeah,
plaid
it
shirt
is.
one day, and Kevin was like, "Oh, I really like your shirt, Jen." And I was like, "Wow, Kevin likes my shirt." So
I took a risk. I like 9 times out of 10 when I make any comment about anyone's appearance, people are like, "Kevin, shut up."
Like
So I don't-
she's actually
Yeah,
pregnant, or-
he stopped.
Who
He
knows?
stopped complimenting anybody.
Yep.
So when he said he liked my shirt, I was like, "Whoa, he liked my shirt." So I said to my husband, "I got to get Kevin one of these Dixon shirts. He really likes it, and he wears
Yeah.
plaid occasionally, right?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so Drew was like, "Okay, yeah." And I didn't want to wait for him. So I went on and I'm like looking, what would be a good one for Kevin? Because they're all named different things. And I
Yeah.
saw the Equalizer.
Boom.
I was like,
The Equalizer.
plus it's like Ohio State colors, right? I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
no, it
this
is.
will
It
be-
is
yeah,
scarlet
that's
and
cool.
gray. The
Yeah.
only, it's a little risque here in Columbus, Ohio, where we're conservatives. There's 2 X's in Dixon, and I normally don't wear
Ooh.
anything or get any
Ooh.
tattoos that have double or triple X's. I don't even know if there is such a thing as 4 X's, but I was wearing
There
this,
might
and my
be.
pastor was just staring like right there, and I was like, it was a gift. And he's
So
like,
if you
"Oh,
look up
okay."
the
Like, it was a gift from one of my crazy coworkers.
yeah, the so the
My
talent they hired.
motorcycle
Yeah.
gang coworker.
I was gonna say is this like the shirt that motorcycle people wear? Like,
Yeah,
Well,
it's
this is one
heavier
of the brands.
material. We're gonna lose the whole show if we.
Well, you look at the marketing. The audience is neck tattoos, big beards, rugged looking dudes,
Yeah,
that sounds
perfect
like
for
me.
Kevin.
bald heads
That's
with
me.
tattoos.
Yeah.
So that's definitely like I feel like these guys.
Is there like a micro category for people who don't like to go outside unless like you're at Disney or someplace where they
There's-
control the weather for you?
They need
Well,
a shirt
I
just
don't
for that
know.
one.
I don't know about that, Kevin, but
These thumbs are
I'm
not
glad you
green.
like your
They're
shirt.
not worn. I touch keyboards. That's what I do.
Hey.
I don't.
They're soft and
pull
supple.
weeds.
No,
All right.
I'm
when
good
you
too.
get on your bike and you go really fast, this will keep the wind.
There you go. Yeah, I
There
do
you go.
bike.
I like it.
I rode bike.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
You missed
Real
it.
cold open before the show has not started yet, folks. Sorry,
There we go.
but
Perfect.
I always think about Kim when this happens. That one time I saw her at the Builder Show, and she was like, "I never know what's going to happen on Oakley's show." All right. So, best food in Vegas. We were all there.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll start to give you all a little bit of time if you need it, and I'm gonna share. Do a little show and tell here. Xiaolong dumplings. I think that's how you say the name.
Okay.
Like incredible. And you can go other places that are super expensive, like the place that Beth likes, which is good. but
Yeah.
expensive. We had black truffle dumplings, we had crab
man.
dumplings, we had shrimp dumplings, we had pork dumplings. We had all kinds of dumplings. They have amazing stir fry as well.
Nice.
Pork belly, fried rice was incredible. Just
Mm.
it was so good. I went there with the folks from Abrazo and Nexus MLS, and then the next night I had a dinner with some prop tech folks, and they were there again, and I didn't care. I was like, yes, this is awesome.
I'll go.
But
I'm
I did
sorry,
the first
I
time.
missed that.
The first time no one told me how to eat dumplings properly, because I've only ever had them as like an appetizer, not a whole meal. So I ate like 18. I don't know. They're just
That
it
seems
felt like
appropriate.
nothing going
Seems
down.
like a good thing to do.
I woke up at 3 a.m. with like the worst stomach ache. It's like
I was gonna say.
why did no one tell me that was a terrible idea?
18 dumplings.
I mean, I don't know. I
18
just
of
lost
anything?
count.
Maybe seems like I
We
don't
each
know. Is
had
that
like our own baskets after we
Yeah.
already had eaten like 3 different kinds. It
It's
was
only like
it was wild, but it was so
Well,
good.
4 to
Off the
5
strip,
baskets.
it's not that far. It's like a minute and a half off the strip. That's where
Okay.
everyone should go.
I'm sorry I missed that. I
Yeah.
had one good meal while I was there.
Only
Whoa.
does that mean the other ones were bad or they were just like not worth mentioning?
Well, the first meal I had was at the
Who were you
Nationals.
hanging out with?
Yeah.
Bro, I was
Jeez.
working. The
Okay.
first meal I had was at the Nationals. The
Okay.
second meal I had was
So
our
that wasn't
DYC
good?
dinner, which
Ooh.
was the best one. It was
Yeah.
a great steak, and we had a good wedge salad, right, Kevin?
What was the
And
name of that place? I
then
And they
forget.
chopped it for you. That's how you do it.
Indiamo's.
Oh yeah,
something like-
life hack.
Anyway.
Have everyone chop your wedge salad for you. It just
make
it's
them
a
work.
life-changing thing.
And then the third night, I took Sam out, and he wanted to go to In-N-Out because he had never eaten there before.
That's
Hmm.
you're like,
So,
thanks, Sam. Love you.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, that sounds pretty awful.
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And
that
I
does
had,
sound
Except for
awful.
the-
I had,
Except
I
for
had
the steakhouse.
IBS food court pizza. So
That sounds sad. The IBS food
If you
court
eat at
pizza.
the convention center, you're doing something wrong.
yeah, well,
Yeah, you
Clearly.
could like sneak one in on a busy day. Oh, let's see. Best. So we
You
went
stayed
with,
there a couple extra days, Andrew. So you got
Yeah,
a few other
stayed
attempts.
there through the weekend. So China Poblano. That's the restaurant that Beth really
Yep.
likes. So it's
Mm,
China, or I guess more Asian
It's half
cuisine
Asian, half-
and Mexican,
half
but it's not
Mexican.
fusion. It is not mixed together. Like it's completely like they're not
Yeah.
intermingling. So that was nice. You could get whatever you wanted, and pricing on it actually wasn't terrible. Like
Well,
I
you
was
get
expecting.
half price at Zhao Long. It's amazing.
Oh, well, that sounds like a good deal. But they had
Yeah.
every type of everything you'd want. So that was really good. We went to Wyoza at the Win, or maybe it was Encore. I'm like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is going to be really, really good. It was good, but China Poblano, a little bit
Yeah.
lower cost, better, I thought.
Yeah.
That was better.
Mhm.
The buffet at the Win, like it has whatever you want. We still went there. What was that, Wednesday morning?
Did you go back by chance?
We did go back. Well, Lindsay
I
Lindsay
knew
stayed
it.
over the weekend.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, okay, you have to go. So it was, we
you got to
we went
experience
for like
at least
brunch.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah. What
whatever
was
you
Lindsay's
want.
reaction to that?
We just need more
Because you
time.
all have been on
Like, you get
cruises and
full.
done other things where there's
Yeah,
lots
we
of buffets.
we get
before.
around. We do the food. It's the best buffet, and really, it's like $50 to $70 per
It's not-
person.
It's not wild.
If you
I mean,
compare
Oh.
that to Vegas prices, you're like, it's actually not bad because you get whatever you want, and it's dessert,
yeah, shh,
appetizers.
don't tell everyone. Don't go there. It's not
Wait.
good.
Yeah, definitely make reservations though if you do go.
Andrew,
Yeah.
how was the Vanderpump?
Oh yeah, we went to
Oh, I had.
the
I
cocktail
mean, I
garden.
watched people drink there, and I
Vanderpump. Yes, so
remember
that
if I ate
was so
Should
you
I
go for
go?
the experience.
Okay.
It was good. Like it was drinks were say $18 to $30 if you want like a cocktail, which is Vegas pricing.
Yeah.
Right. If you get like a gin
Mhm.
tonic lime, that's going to be 15
They're like
to 20
experience
bucks.
drinks, though. I saw someone.
Yeah,
like,
or you get one of their
some kind of
drinks.
alcohol was poured out of a like smoke-filled container. That yeah,
Like all the smoke. Yeah, it is. It was good. I mean,
It's experience.
I went and I'm like, okay, so we, my wife watches all the shows. I then watch the shows and know exactly what's going on with every little
Yeah.
drama.
Right.
So seeing the restaurant, like, oh, there's these scenes filmed here. That's neat.
Uh-huh.
It's still in
Hey,
Caesars,
Olivia,
which
make
is-
sure we put a timestamp in the show.
Yeah,
notes
yeah,
of when
it's
the
back.
show actually starts for people.
When the
who
show
want,
actually
to
starts.
skip.
But to me, what's interesting is like there's so much decor and the decoration and how it looks. I'm like, who made these choices in here? So I'm sitting there. Lindsay's like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. And I'm like, did Lisa Vanderpump actually pick those mirrors on the wall? Did this person do this? And so I'm like going through like Is that that's almost fanboying. This is embarrassing here.
Yeah.
Fangirling, I guess, would be the correct term. But it was good. They have like these fried goat cheese balls, which I guess are on the show all the time.
That's what I wanted to try.
They were good,
Oh,
but you
I
have
should
to
have tried.
have
I
it
saw
with.
people.
It
Yeah.
has like this cabbage and this like vinaigrette you have to have with it. It
Yeah.
was good, and we only spent like it was a little over $100. Like if you're going out to eat in Vegas, you're pretty much you're 100 to 150, if not more.
Okay.
Depending on how much you drink. We're
I'm going there
like
next
one
year.
drink is good for me. But I had like this pepper gin drink. It was like spicy and bitter. It was good. I would get it again.
My date wasn't 21, so I didn't want to.
Is, he's
I wanna
selling
risk
some
it.
houses and he's not 21. He deserves a
He's
drink.
only 20.
He could sell houses, but he can't buy a drink. What's
Can't
up
buy a
with that?
drink. Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember,
it's-
I don't know anything about
goofy.
modern pop culture or movies, so I'm completely lost. I think
Yeah.
we
You're
should
missing
start
out.
the show
Bravo.
now.
Bravo Network. There you go.
There's
Let's
something
go.
about goat cheese, but other than that, I don't know what just happened in
Oh,
the
it's
last
good.
2 minutes.
Next year we'll go. Next year we'll go.
Let's get started. Welcome to episode 329. I'm Kevin Oakling. With me today is Andrew Peak and Jen Barkin.
Woo, we're here.
Whoop, whoop.
Survive the
And,
build show.
We're
back.
on the recovery road from IBS still.
IBS,
So you-
not
yeah,
irritable.
that
International
15-minute
Builder
long
Show.
cold open.
You didn't know that.
Tells it all.
Yep.
We're here.
Jen, you want to start with your real story time segment?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And then we are going to talk realtors today because I'm following up on your presentation. I have questions / thoughts.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, good,
that's a
good, good.
fun
Okay, I'll
session.
keep this short then, because this got me super excited. Was on a coaching call today and with a brand new online sales specialist, spanking new. And I said, okay, how are the video emails going? We're talking about process. And she goes, oh, I have something so awesome to tell you. And I said, tell me. She goes, I was talking to this out of town buyer who said she was coming into town and somehow we got on the subject of In-N-Out Burger. And she goes, I was telling her, oh my gosh, there's an In-N-Out Burger right here by the community. And she was like, oh my gosh, I love In-N-Out and I'm a runner and yada, yada, yada. And so the OSC set the appointment for when she comes into town. And she went out there with the sales agent and they did a quick video in front of In-N-Out. And that's what she used for her appointment confirmation.
I'm clapping.
I mean, I got chills. I
There
was
you
like,
go.
this is
That
so
chills are
cool
multiplying.
and so fun, right? She has the bandwidth because at first I said, okay, like this is awesome. Like, just make sure you have time. And she goes, well, it's 2 minutes from here. And I wanted to do something that was just really stood out and made her feel
And
special.
she got an In-N-Out burger for herself and expense.
She got an In-N-Out burger.
Right? I'm
she
sure there
goes,
was some.
Well, she just said, why not? Why not do
Right.
it? It's 2
love
minutes
it.
from here. And so I just thought, oh man, that is so cool.
Yeah,
think
and
it's cool.
we're not going to name names, but there was a very large builder that we interacted with someone on our team recently, who the average online salesperson gets between 500 and 900 leads a month.
No.
They're never doing that. So a lot of times
No.
everyone's always freaking
That's
out
a lot.
about, oh my gosh, the
Yeah.
national builders, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You're going to do things that they can't do because they won't staff properly. That's what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super cool. That's taking a risk too. Like that, that's not the normal. So she had to okay, I'm
mean,
going on my
she's
own to
brand
do this
new.
thing. And she's brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Killing
It's just
it.
like golfing. She doesn't know better yet. It's
Yeah.
oftentimes when people
good.
do really well when they don't know
That's
better.
right.
Just
That's
don't know
right.
better.
I love it. Andrew, what about you?
Oh, this one. So I didn't know this was a Super Bowl commercial because I no interest in the Super Bowl. Sorry, Taylor Swift and everyone else there. So CeraVe, the what do we call them? Health and beauty company.
Oh yeah, I did. I
Like
did see
the
it somewhere.
I think
skincare.
what's skincare.
Skincare
There we go.
company?
Skincare.
Okay.
So you have Michael Cera, the actor, kind of goofy younger guy. I think he's like late 20s. He was in Juno. I think a lot of people know him from.
Yeah.
Super bad. So
Yeah.
not a super serious actor. Well, his last name is Cera, Cera. The company's name is CeraVe, Cera, then VE. So there's this ad where it shows he's pitching the company. He's like, it should be Michael Cera. We got the same last name. And they're all looking at him like, what are you talking about? And then they teamed up with TikTokers, content creators, influencers, whatever word we want to use. and they caught Michael Cera writing his name, Michael, on the products in the store. And it's supposed to be like, oh my goodness, what actually happened? This is hilarious. I think it's hilarious. It just so happened to coincide with like, I'm getting old. Can you see my wrinkles on my forehead? I should probably do something with my skin.
Oh
I
my
should have a
gosh.
skincare routine. I'm in
Same.
Florida,
Same.
right? If there's no, look at this on my head. I need Botox
Same.
right here. I'm just kidding. But I'm like, am I actually the target market for this? Because it totally it doesn't make it feel like it's like serious, right? Which is like the reaction, right? So Kevin's like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
what's happening right now. But I think to me, I'm like, it's Michael Cera,
Brilliant.
whatever. It's joking. It's like, just take care of your skin. You wash your hair, wash your body.
Yeah, I
Why
think
don't
I'm
you do
just messed
something
up
with your
because my
face,
hair
right?
started turning gray when I was like 29. So I figured,
Oh,
like, what's the
See, I
point?
get
I'm
gray right
not.
here.
Yeah.
It's getting. I'm like, this is
Let it
actually
all.
pretty funny, and it felt organic, but it was obviously not organic. Like Michael
Right.
Cera is not. If they
Right.
chose like, I don't know, who's a serious actor, that'd be bad. I'll hear the dogs. Matt Damon, George Clooney, like an older, more attractive actor versus Michael Cera is just like, he's just the goofy dude. And here he is talking about skincare. There's a video of him. He's giving himself a massage, and he's like, your skin is so smooth. But it's like the way they layered it. It's himself giving himself a back massage, which is impossible.
I think it's brilliant.
I think it was brilliant. It was great. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
catchy. I remembered it. And then it's kind of funny, like Michael Cera. So you kind of remember the name, CeraVe. And you pronounce it correctly.
Well, it's okay. Let's unpack this because I shared a video from Hartford Homes in Northern Colorado as well. It was girl math
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
mortgages.
Loved it.
And I
She
think
did
there's
great.
something similar here in that there's people who do things that are just like kind of attention grabbing because they're odd. You're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Or I feel
Yeah, this-
uncomfortable right now. Like I'm not sure. That when people first started dancing on TikTok with no connotation, no nothing, it was just like, I'm a salesperson and I'm dancing. You're like, this is just uncomfortable, but
Agreed.
there's things like this and what Nicole did at Hartford that have an educational component and a reason, and they're entertaining. It's not just entertaining. It's not just awareness, but it's like, I just go back to what I used to hear a lot as an art major is like, your audience, you have to have respect for for them. And there's some where it's just like, you don't respect whoever's watching this. You don't respect their time, their intelligence, their whatever. It's just, so I think
Be thoughtful in your
And
execution
authentic
of
and
content.
it's so I just pulled up their account because I forgot I think Angela at I forgot what session it was, but she referenced the girl math post on this. Angela from O'Neill Interactive, and she talked about it, and she's like, looking at the views, 300 views, 4,000 views, 500 views, 320 views. So Nicole at Hartford Homes, girl math, like it's obviously not like it's a staged video, like it's not trying to be like candid or anything. Like it's a video made for you to watch like this, like it's an ad, but it still was worth sharing, which is what Angela said. It was shareable. It was worth sharing, and everyone's
Yeah.
commenting on it. You could see it. So like that content was perfect. Now, if she could keep going with that, probably a tremendous amount of work to figure out like what other videos could I follow that fit that trend. There's one, I don't know if y'all saw it, where it's like, I'm a home builder. Of course we do this. The kind
Sure.
of like, of course we do that. I've yet to see one that's authentic. And if you look at the stats on it, none of them are taking off. Because it's like,
well,
we're Peak Building Company. Of course we
you're
have a warranty,
unpacking more of what I'm saying is
Yeah.
they're going with the trend or the meme,
but it's terrible.
but there's not an actual, it's like, I'm going to make fun of myself.
You have to do
in
that.
line with this meme. It's not going to like, I'm using the meme because that's what's in the conversation right now.
Right.
But I'm actually going to tell you, here's how I'm adding value as an OSC. It's like, I'm an OSC, of course, like, do something funny. That's like, that's not the point. The point is not just to make someone laugh. The point is to
Add value.
grab
to
their
it.
attention,
Yeah.
build trust, confidence, transparency, and
Educate.
transition that into them
Mhm.
actually wanting to take an action with you, not going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
next.
Then if it's too serious, you're like, you roll your eyes
Right.
because you're like, I'm an
Well,
OSC.
listen,
I'm available 24/7.
Speaking from a former OSC who
There you
did
go.
a lot of things wrong.
Oh
did a lot of
yeah.
it.
Can we
You did a
flash
lot of
back to
videos.
some of that right now? Like montage style?
There's a
Like
video you're in a tub or
Harlem
something.
Shake. I did the Harlem Shake in a model with
Oh,
my
yeah.
lender.
I remember that.
I mean, was that terrible? Yeah. Like, what value was I
Well,
adding?
okay,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
I'm not just defending you because you're you, but here's an important point before you keep going. Is that was one of a bazillion videos you did. If Jen Barkin had
Exactly.
only done, 10 videos ever
Right.
and that was one of them, it would have been awful.
Right.
But
Right.
you were consistently showing up week after week
Trying
after week after
things.
week. Yeah.
I think that's the other side of it is like maybe not everything is going to be a slam dunk and you're
No,
going to,
can't be.
hit a home run and whatever, but like try stuff.
Yeah.
I
You just
mean,
don't always have to hit publish when you try. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like we do say all the time, we coach people all the time, hey,
yeah.
just record and hit send, right? Just because you got to get over
Yeah.
that friction. But if you're going to send it to like everyone on the internet, maybe watch it than if it's just going to one person.
Get
And of
get
course, we
another
also
set of
know
eyeballs on it.
That's set
maybe,
eyeballs.
maybe depends.
That's good. So
I mean, I think again, Haley from Novi, who everyone knows why, because she shows up consistently. She
Yeah.
sometimes goes off the rails and she's talking about acne and whatever. All right. But like, that's not the only videos she makes is
Right.
not just about, awkward social interactions and the rest.
that's
It's intermixed. So she knows what she's doing.
yeah, agreed. And she's back to In and Out OSC. Like she's taking a risk. Like I'm sure we all got the emails leading up to the Builder Show. They're all play on popular rap lyrics from
Mhm.
our age, like 2000s and late 90s. And if you weren't in that age group and you don't listen to music, you're like, what is she talking about? I have no idea. But whose booth was pretty much filled up the entire time. And it was all
Yeah.
happy faces. It was not people being sold to, even though they were being sold to. It was not a bunch of people standing around looking for like, hey, how are you a builder? Like we were
That
getting
was
catcalled
that
the
was
whole
a
time
home
walking
run.
around the thing. If that's I don't know
Oh,
if
that's
the right word to
probably,
use.
I didn't say it as like the number one thing but not accident. So we took a team photo at the end of the week. Jesse had already left. So we're like, oh, we're gonna have to Photoshop in Jesse. And then it's like, might as well add in Carla, might as well add in. And then we added in
The
Don
shoes.
Dancer said, add in the Novi shoes.
Yeah.
And then I saw someone else added in Chad from Davies Imaging and Haley.
Yeah,
This
because
felt-
whoever commented, Jackie was like, "Oh, now you're added too."
Oh, that's awesome. It felt like the Ellen DeGeneres selfie moment from was
Yeah.
it the Oscars a while ago? I was like,
Oh,
this is so
just like
fun to watch.
people.
Just take on a life of its own.
Yeah, it was good. And that's because
Okay.
of the shoes.
Yeah.
Right. So good job,
Um,
Novi.
I don't think I need to do story time after all that back and forth, but I would just say other highlights for me that are not like learning was playing blackjack for about an
Oh,
hour and a half
That was fun.
with
That was good.
with Julie and Jackie Lipinski and Andrew and his wife Lindsay, who I don't think any of them had ever played before.
I must
No,
have been
I've
hanging out
played
with the
very
wrong
casually.
people.
This
because
was what time was
what?
this?
How did
It was
I miss
late.
this?
Oh,
Ish.
after Fremont Street when you
Yeah.
Oh,
you and Mike
left with Jesse.
left with
Mhm.
Jesse because she flew out.
But
Yeah.
that's like one of my favorite things is when I
That is
was
fun.
young and naive and had never drank an entire can of beer in my life, even at the age of like 26, people were always like, you gotta try this drink. And they were having fun trying like you have with a newborn. They're like, they're
Yeah.
experiencing new things. This is
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So it was fun it was really fun to do that with everybody. And we didn't put more money in. We're not gambling addicts, but we had a set amount of money and it lasted for about an hour and
Yeah.
a half between
Okay.
us.
Fun.
Now there was
So, yeah.
there was definitely some generous giving to those myself who were out in like
That's
10
just
minutes,
let's
but we
yeah.
can't talk about that.
But maybe that becomes another tradition when it's in Vegas. I still would love to get a
Yeah.
full craps table full of marketers.
Yes.
Because there's nothing more fun than playing craps with a
Mhm.
bunch of
Yeah.
friends.
You
And
just need
and
to
of
add it to
course,
the calendar. That's how it'll work. Tuesday
That
night,
needs to happen.
11 p.m. at the Wynn, right by the second favorite restaurant of mine, the little cafe that's open 24/7. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's frozen food. It's so good. I'll go there. again.
And then at the end of our breakfast on Wednesday, the conversation evolved or devolved, depending on your perspective, to multiple company owners, a VP of sales and marketing, some industry partners, all sitting around the table saying, why the hell can't we get salespeople to use CRMs? It was a great
I'm leaving.
conversation.
I gotta go.
Yeah, it was like, hey, online uses it, marketing uses it. Why will these people not do it? And that, talked about that a little bit in other updates from the show. We talked about some solutions, and really, we'll put it in all access more of the conversation, but here's the gist. The gist was public shaming is the thing that works best, other than firing and rehiring people based upon CRM usage. Some form of public wall of shame, tracking stats and metrics that need to be tracked appropriately, and make sure you do the right one, because just sales is not the right metric. All right, first up from the news. Oh, I think by the time you're hearing this, Market Proof Academy is probably sold out. Probably.
I would say
I mean,
so.
Ooh,
Here's
like
the thing, it's
almost
virtual.
there.
We could sneak a few more people in, of course, but we also try to keep a certain size that allows discussion and conversation to happen. So check it out. It's probably gone though, and sorry, not sorry for that.
Probably a
Andrew's got
summer
an
one.
amazing reel that he recorded that will probably never be used. to
Probably
talk
not.
about.
It's like, here we go.
Come sign
And
up
it's sold
for
out.
the show.
Come sign up. Oopsies.
First up from TechCrunch, Google takes aim at SEO optimized junk pages and spam with new search update.
I love this.
This is dated March 5th.
Yeah.
Google took aim at the SEO industry, which is gamified search rankings, to destroy the value of Google search results. We talked about this, a week ago, or maybe I just put it in my AI article. But
think so.
there have been other articles about the fact that, hey, you have to be careful about that number one search result in Google, because it may contain a link to something that's not true. Well, like factually not true, but you wouldn't know it unless you were an expert in it. And how that erodes trust, which is obviously supreme in Google. And so it felt like something like this was going to be necessary. But Andrew,
Google. I'll be Google
tell
today.
us why this is important. Andrew,
Ooh, well,
give us the lowdown on what's happening here.
for those that have been in internet marketing, digital marketing forever, you think back to like, say 10, 15 years ago, Google's like, what was his name? Matt Cutts, maybe? He was the head of spam at Google. If you were doing SEO, you knew this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially his job was to get rid of spam. Spam being low quality websites that offered no value to Google users that would make them want to go to Bing or Yahoo or like other search engines. So that's paramount. The quality of the search results is super important. So imagine if you Google like, people can make websites with ChatGPT. Write me 10 blog posts about real estate, digital marketing. Go. Copy and paste it, make a WordPress site. There you go. There's a website. Offers no value to anybody. So this to me is their not even attempt. They are doing it. I'm sure they'll do it extremely well to essentially find low quality content. I would assume that they are using it now more than ever to find content that is AI generated or heavily created with AI. You would feel like, oh, I'll make it with ChatGPT, give me an outline, and I'll edit that and put it on the website. They're able to detect it. Even more so after people use it more and more and more. Think a year from now, how much more content will be influenced by AI or created by AI? Drastically more. And that means Google's machine learning and AI will be able to detect it even more. There's more data. There's more data. Mm-hmm. I won't name names, but I heard people talking about, I use ChatGPT to create this and this and that for builders. I'm like, are you kidding me? So imagine you're paying someone to write content for you, and what's the result? Google's gonna be like, don't want it. So it won't do anything in terms of helping you have more robust content, which the reason you're making it, yes, it's for your buyers, but it won't help you rank anything.
To sum up the article really in one sentence, it says, overall, the update intends to improve Google's ranking systems to downrank pages that were, quote unquote, created for search engines instead of for people.
There you go. Which is
so there's lots of places we could go. Anything else about the article? I do want to pull on a couple threads that this connects with, I think.
No, yeah, go ahead. You're good.
Okay, so the first one was, there was an article that I saw on CNBC of the CEO of a call center company whose stock dropped by like 20% because people thought AI was going to take him out of business. And he was like, no, we're still going to need humans for AI. And the quote, I don't have it ready, but the quote was essentially, as long as our customers are human, we're going to need humans to talk to them. Which I thought was good on you, buddy. That's pretty insightful. I like it.
Yep.
And yet I do think one of the things that's going to happen is that people who can afford it are going to hire AI systems, algorithms, copilots to do the pre-work for them. So your actual end customer may still be a human, but there's going to be this interface layer of the system or tool that they said, go find me the top 3 builders that I should actually consider that are going to meet my needs. I only want to look at 3. I still don't think we're going to get
Well-
anytime soon to the one result. I think it's going to, because humans, again, go find me the wife. I don't trust that search result, no matter what
Yeah.
AI system.
Hmm.
It's not like an automatic marriage happening. But I
I
do think
just-
they'll use it to help them dig through the clutter.
Like all of this conversation, I mean, obviously at the Builder Show, we heard this over and over again, conversations about AI.
Mm.
But I just keep going back to it's not a replacement, but an assistant. Like we're using it as an assistant. We're using it to help us with something, but not replacing the human factor. Same thing on the customer side and on the sales
Right.
side or
And here's what
online
just
sales
doesn't
side.
make any sense at all to me, at all, is I know builders, owners, and DPs and such are going to say, but Kevin, we have to do whatever we can to protect our margins. But new homes are a luxury good. It's true right now. It's going to be more true in the future. No matter if it's production, semi-custom, custom, a new home will continue to be a luxury purchase. And no matter what price point you are, if you're DR Horton or you're Infinity Custom Homes in Pittsburgh, you're going to want to use humans to provide the overall best experience possible.
Yeah, at 100%.
And they're still cheap. I think I don't know if I talked about this on the recording, but you know, I mentioned Air Canada's chatbot that gave a customer a refund. Air Canada said, no, that's against our policy. The judge in Canada said, what? Your customers are supposed to check multiple places on the website to see if they agree. Like
Yeah,
chatbots on your
I've seen
website, it said you get a refund. And then later in the same Forbes article, it quotes the head of marketing, I believe, who says essentially that we're really excited to use AI to continue to improve the customer experience. It was like, what are
No,
you talking about?
how?
And it goes further. This is the most amazing part.
They double
It
down.
then further goes on to say that the company admitted that their AI initiative was more expensive than it would have been to just hire enough humans to do
More
the job.
expensive, less margin.
Worse experience.
Think about all the
That's weird.
opportunity you're losing when you don't have a quick response, or you let a lead sit there for 2 days without responding to it. When we surveyed the top builders that have all the bells and whistles, response time was over 12 hours.
Oh, but you're being picky, Jen. You want human response time.
Do we need a metric
I
for that
mean,
now instead of
I just
response
don't
time?
know
it's
how
just
Because I
human?
wanna
argue with
talk to
that infinite
somebody.
loop of doom right there.
Oh,
But that's what
gosh.
they say. They're like, no, you're talking about human response time. Well, yeah, yeah, we are.
Man,
Yeah.
that's
I
like
Now
don't
one
wanna-
again,
metric
that
I don't
doesn't
we
wanna
mean
need
fill
now.
out
people
a
don't want to
form.
self-service. People do want to self-service to the maximum amount that they choose to want to self-service. So that's still going to be something that we have to contend with. But okay, so Google is onto it. And again,
Google's
the other
onto
thing
it.
that all this brings about is that Google's number one signal of where something should be ranked is if the consumer goes on the page and Google believes they accomplished what they set out to accomplish. And again, this is the part about AI and the lack of knowing what's true. If I say, is this medicine okay for me to take? And I Google it and I click on the number one search result, my assumption would be that whatever that search result says, it's number one. It says it's from a trusted source. I don't know that it was written by AI or not. And I'm not a doctor, so I don't have the capacity to say and filter through on my own, right?
Yeah.
That's where the danger of this all comes in, is it may look fine. It may be grammatically correct. It might spell all the medications correct. Everything looks good, but it's ultimately wrong. And no one will know
That's
until
scary.
somebody dies.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I'm sure it will happen, right? At some point.
It's
It
absolutely
sounds
going to happen.
Like, or it might have already happened.
Yep. Okay. Next up from marketingweek.com.
Oh man,
This
was
is
interesting.
I like this one a lot. I don't know where we're going to go with this one, but overrated. Social media viewed as overly important by businesses, marketers say. Here's the thing. Marketers
say.
Marketers say.
Marketers are saying social media is being viewed as overly important by businesses themselves. It's kind of a fun,
Yeah.
fun one, isn't it?
Well,
That's a
when
fun
I
one.
read it, I got kind of defensive, like for marketers,
Oh,
but
I
I
like
don't
this.
know. Like, was I reading it wrong? But I got kind of like, what?
No, I don't think you're reading it wrong.
Yeah.
I think what this is, well, Andrew, you want to start? Any thoughts you
Yeah.
have?
So whenever I see anything like this, I'm like, okay, is there any room for this? Is just like how I'm wired, I guess. Um, just the semantics of like people understanding, well, what is digital marketing? What is performance marketing? What is social media marketing? What is advertising and marketing technology? Are we calling something the same thing that's different? Like 10% of the room is like, oh, social media marketing, they just think TikTok. Like that's overrated. Everyone's talking about it. Digital marketing, that's everything. Performance marketing is they have some bias of what that means to them or based on their past experience. I'm like, all right, is there accuracy in any of the data? Because we all interpret it differently. Like, Jen, what is performance marketing? Like,
I don't know. I was going to
I
ask
don't know.
y'all.
Is that like people who are like, maybe that's like e-com, that's like return on ad spend, cost per lead, like heavily
Yeah.
focused on attribution and cost per sale, cost per lead. And that's all that matters. And digital
Mm.
marketing is more the website and creatives. And I don't know. Like even me, I'm like, well, what is digital marketing versus advertising and
Well,
marketing technology? That one's pretty obvious, but
I think it's
But the most is social media
social
overrated.
media
Yeah.
is the most overrated, which makes
and
sense.
to
It's the most
me,
talked
this
about.
is bringing us back to where we started. One of the quotes
Yeah.
from CMO Jane Stiller says, "I do think that core skills have been distracted by digital tactics."
Yeah.
And this is the other thing that I keep hearing a lot about, and my other IBS takeaways was like interdepartment projects are not working in builders for builders. They're like, we've been going on this initiative for a year now, and almost nothing's happened, and everyone's frustrated. But it's because no one even started. And I already got an email back from a couple of people today. They're like, yes, because what happens is this new shiny thing appears. One department says, got to have it, must have it, got to implement AI this way, got to do this thing, and not realizing that it has impacts on other departments too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I do think that people are, and this is why you should feel defensive for marketers. I think when you read this article is everyone else in the business is in the business of tactics. That's all they care about because it's what's in it for me, and they're not thinking holistically. And so, not surprising, most people are spending the most amount of their own personal time on social media channels. And so it's that old, like, if I don't see my company on my feed, what the hell are those marketers doing? Are
Well,
we
also
even
you
marketing?
can, to our point earlier, you could screw social media marketing up.
Yeah.
Like,
Easy. Yeah.
yeah.
If you're
so,
driven by tactics, if you're
like,
just saying, what's the latest meme? Let's ride that train. And there is no core strategy or deeper thought.
Mhm.
You're not going to get the results,
Right.
which again, results that we're
Right.
looking for are sales, the
Right.
revenue that pays all your bills. That's what we're trying to create as marketers.
All your bills, cash flow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
payroll.
Amen.
That's important. Yeah.
The,
I would, yeah. It's almost like what there's like, oh, social media marketing, you're a digital you are a marketer. Like what has messed with my day the most, or what am I most distracted by other people? Social media marketing for sure is because like Jen said, everyone's on it. So everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
Whether
I mean, it
right
can be
or
done
wrong.
well, but this whole trend of like, let's highlight every person in the company.
Oh, I hate that.
You know, I hear you. You're trying to be nice.
No one
There's
cares.
nothing wrong
Is
with
that
it.
rude?
Jen's laughing at me,
No one
but this
cares.
is why I hope people pay attention to me, because I just try to say it honestly. It's like, do people really care about Sally in accounting who only pays vendor bills? Does a customer buying a home
No.
care about Sally in accounting? We do.
No.
We all, the rest of us do. We want to buy her a cake on her birthday. We want to, celebrate her amazing accounting skills. But the person buying a house in Happy Acres doesn't care.
No.
They're truly never going to interact with her. And
Yeah.
so we're over indexing in things just to create this content that is not, again, it's not built out of a core strategy.
Mm-hmm.
It's built out of a tactic.
Agreed.
I will end on this quote: "The principles of marketing should be the same. You're there to drive growth, to understand the customer, to build customer propositions." That sounds like maybe it's because I don't know. To build customer propositions that resonate. Okay, there we go. To communicate to them and to position them. That classic traditional marketing is being eroded. So Yes, it's not just views or vanity metrics or any of the rest, right?
I remember a consultant one time told me that social media was meant to just make people laugh. And that was the goal of our social media
Oh,
when I
Jen,
was in OSC.
I was
Hmm.
interviewing someone for the home builder that I was running in Pittsburgh, and she was the head of marketing for what is now, I think, one of the top 6 or 7 brokerages in the country.
Hmm.
And this was 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
And she was like, I said, why are you looking to move? Like, that's a pretty big company you're working for. Like, they're in multiple states. We're just here in Pittsburgh, this division. She's like, well, I just, I meet with the leadership all the time, and they just still think the internet's a fad, Kevin. 2012.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's pretty
That was
wild.
about the same time.
Craziness.
All right.
Megan.
Last up from Builder Magazine. This Music City builder has a new AI assistant. Nashville-based Legacy South is boosting their home experience with an AI integration from Open House AI. So the article goes on to explain how it works, and that means we do what, Andrew? When we see anything like this in the wild,
Yeah, we want to try this thing out.
we go
I was
try it
gonna say,
out.
Let's go try it out.
That was my
This
first
looks like-
question. Did you guys test it?
This looks like fun.
Because I'm heading over there after.
I'm starting my new home journey right now.
Yeah. So first of all, AI. Okay. So I got a here's the
Back
not
up.
disclaimer,
Yeah.
but full background. Will Zhang, who's the founder of Open House AI, is a brilliant, like he's
Yeah.
one of the smartest people I've ever met. He knows AI.
Right.
He knows what machine learning is currently capable of. And he
Mhm.
would, I think, be happy that I'm saying those words instead of AI at this moment. He knows what machine learning is capable of. And so what I'm not certain of, because we're going to talk a little bit about how this tool doesn't seem to do what it says it's doing. But I do trust in Will's genius that my hunch is that he's using the data that gets taken from this, what is basically a glorified survey
Mhm.
of what kind of things you would like in your home or in your community, that it doesn't seem to do what it says it's going to do in the wild, meaning really, I used it a couple different times. The only thing that ended up happening is it would filter out the results that match the price range that I selected. But when I chose a bedroom count, it didn't necessarily seem to correlate at all. The type of home didn't necessarily seem, it was like, this is all we have. It also might be an issue with the builder only having a limited number of options to give an answer to. So again, this is not, Will, I love you. You're awesome. I think you need to tell builders more about what AI is truly capable of, and would love to have you on to talk about that. But this one just kind of, it was different. I don't know if you had a different experience, Andrew, but it was just kind of like, did something happen? Because it doesn't feel like anything happened.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm
Well,
just about done with my quiz. So
while
I'm
you're
gonna find out
looking
in
at
just a
that,
second.
I'm reminded. I just thought about this. I don't know if you remember this, Kevin, but Haley, we were just talking about her earlier in
Mhm.
her former life as the OSC at Level Homes. She used something called, I believe it was like a type form type of thing.
Oh yeah, type form
Yeah.
survey.
Type
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
good.
she did.
So
They did the same thing.
That's what reminded me, like, because she set this up and she would gather that information at the beginning, and then that helped her better, like, okay, how
Yeah.
am I gonna, what do I need to be prepared with to respond to this lead or gather information? And so
Yeah.
it seems similar to that.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's where I'm saying there's got to be more happening under the hood, or the potential for more to
Yeah.
happen if Will and Open House
Yeah.
AI are involved in it. But the background of that conversation that I recall, it may not be 100% correct. Haley will correct me, I'm sure, probably on an Instagram story for all of us to watch.
Call him out. Kevin Oakley.
The marketer anyway said, hey, we're thinking about doing this to get more interactions and potentially more leads. What do you think?
Yeah.
And my immediate reaction was, well, of course you should do that, because Will Duderstadt and O'Neill Interactive created a tool like this, I want to say 6 or 7 years ago. And it
We
was
talked
like,
about it at the builder show. Like it was a whole quiz thing. Yeah. I believe.
Yeah. Megan and Will, I think, did a session on it back then. So the concept of using a quiz is not new.
Right.
It's just kind of, someone needs to clarify what is the AI or what is the output here. And again, Will, come on the show. We'll talk about it. We'll break it down for people. Talk about what machine learning can do that it's not doing.
The
But
other
it
other
was-
side of this is, if as a customer, if I get a wild hair at my tush and I'm looking for a new home and I want to talk to somebody right now, I don't want to fill out a form. Like,
Yeah.
I want to.
Well, that's again, I'm trying to say this to be overly clear that it may just be that the total offerings of this particular home builder are not complex enough to warrant a quiz. Where I always, like when I was at
Right.
Heartland, we had 45-ish different single family floor plan designs. And we did not, when I first got there, do a good job at all of limiting them. So it was like, we have 27 neighborhoods and 45 different home designs. You can put anything you want, anywhere you want, go for it. We're a custom builder. And that was overwhelming. I mean, even
Yeah.
back then when mobile sites weren't yet a thing, it was overwhelming to see that much. So early on, I was like, hey, we need some kind of quiz, even if just salespeople use it internally to help. Like when people go visit a model of, do you want an integral garage or an attached
checklist.
garage?
Mhm.
Do you need, you like, and then that way you just come down to like, here's your 3 recommended homes
Yeah.
to start from. Cause it was just overwhelming, but I don't get the sense that this particular builder has that much complexity in their lineup.
Well, and that's what I did
Yeah.
as an online sales specialist. Same thing, 45 different communities all
Mm.
over.
yeah, that's a
like
reason to
different
talk
fo-
to someone, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like, so I just took the quiz, but I want to piggyback on what you said, Jen. If someone's like, Jen, I'm really looking for, here's how I like to spend my mornings. Here's how I like to spend my evenings on the weekend. Here's
Mhm.
where I like to, like, when I'm done with work, this is my routine. I love doing this before dinner or after dinner. And you're like, I know exactly what you want. There's this one home site in Happy Acres. You're going to sit on your back patio. You're going to have whatever. Or in the morning, you're going to wake up, have your cup of coffee. You have to have one of these home sites that faced east because you want to see the sunrise.
Mhm.
Like, is that data going to be plugged into whatever AI? Is that even, I could be dumb sounding this. Is that even AI worthy? That's why I took the quiz. I'm like, isn't just this like conditional if else statements? Like if you choose this, if you choose that, you're just filtering down to the results. And I got the results. I said I wanted more bedrooms. Like what Kevin said, maybe they don't have the options here. I got 4 results. Only one has 4 bedrooms. But I think it might be just a product offering
Yeah, I think that's what
challenge
it
there.
is.
But I still want to go and do the traditional search. So this to me feels like the last article we read. This feels like a tactic. It's not
Mm.
marketing. Like it's like, cool, this is cute. And that I don't want to diminish the effort and work that open house AI has done. It just seems like, is that like overkill for this? This is just a filter. Hey, you want the bedroom, the primary suite,
Right.
primary bedroom,
Well,
the first
and
or
that's-
second floor? Here's the floor
again,
plans.
Different strokes for different folks. Are we still allowed to say that? I don't know. There's so many different things. Jen said something from the stage and everyone went, I was like,
Spray and spray.
is that bad? I didn't know that was bad.
Spray and pray.
But I think what's different is Level took the approach with their quiz of requiring an email address to finish the quiz, I think. So again, it was like,
Yeah.
we're going to
Get
get
some
more
leads.
contact
Lead.
information for
Yeah.
leads to happen.
Yeah.
In this case, that's not. So again, that's where like, there's more mystery here of, I'm assuming there's a cookie or something that's tracking me that then if I do end up becoming a lead, the answers to those questions are going to get added to the CRM. Or if not, it's just like all that was for what too, in a sense of like, if I get
Bottom
my
line,
results.
we just need more information.
Yeah, we need more. We need
talk-
Will to come on the
we need-
program. Will.
We need to talk about. We need to talk about it more.
I
Come on,
think
let's talk about it.
we're kind of a simple industry. I know we're complex. We are extremely complex, but like if you're trying to shop for the best fitting jeans or whatever online, maybe you do need more quiz to figure out like actually, you will look best in this. But these are choices that I think we already have answers and preferences.
This is something that, and again, Zillow, Livable, whoever, I'm sure someone, but like, that's where you would need, this would be more helpful.
Right.
There is an unlimited number of opportunity in terms of all of the builders in a certain DMA. And you need to filter down. I know that's what the folks at Anugo have tried to do with their platform as well. It's like, hey, we've got all these different builders, answer questions. Again, the last time I tried that, it's been over a year and a half ago or so. I was given answers to buy a house in a different state than what I originally selected in. So that didn't seem to work
Yeah. There's just not enough
as
choices
described
there.
either. But
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
the
there-
human element. Like we need to talk to the OSC, the Jen who knows
Mhm.
like, hey, this
well,
is
now it
what
just
I
sounds like
want.
we're talking about like what we do. So I understand if everyone's
I'm biased
skeptical,
on
but
that,
it's
aren't
like,
I?
that
But
is
if the
still
quiz can say, I have
Again,
2
here's the
small
thing,
dogs,
It's still the
and
least
this is
expensive
this.
answer is to get a human who can think with their brain
Yes.
and use the website. It
And they
still
could
is the least
sell
expensive
with their
answer.
personality. You could fall in love with that person, not that like they were married then,
Yep.
but like, oh my goodness, Jen at Legacy South is absolutely amazing. She is my go-to. Like she answers the questions, and she's stuck with me now because she always answers the phone. Sorry,
Yep.
sorry, OCs. It's your life though, right?
All right.
Most helpful people.
It's time for
was
love
that?
it or hate it.
That was the NSA listening.
You ready for love it or hate it?
Love it or hate it.
Here's the thing that oh dang, did I shut it down? I want to do more show and tell. Okay, someone else go first. I got it.
Jen, you go first.
Oh, well, shameless plug, but I am loving Online People Talking podcast. Just had
love
a
it too.
great
The
I just had a
OPT.
great interview. We just interviewed the gold winners for online sales, and it was so fun. So that'll be coming out probably right around the time this one is. So definitely check
Nice.
it out. I'm just loving it.
Okay. Here's my love. It's more food. I'm still recovering
like it.
from food in Vegas. This place is called Soul and Beans. You can actually walk
Did you
to
just
it
eat the
from-
whole time?
What is that
Yes,
purple
we
stuff?
just went over
Is that
to
butter
Koreatown,
on
Chinatown,
top?
whatever it
I
was.
don't even know.
Good degree.
And okay, for those of you watching, I'm going to break this down for 15 seconds. Otherwise, just
thing.
hit that little skip button on your podcast player. So this is shaved milk, not shaved ice, shaved milk with
Okay.
all kinds of toppings. But the best topping, believe it or not, was red beans. These are red beans on the top, and these little cube things.
Yeah.
They're rice cakes apparently of some kind, but
Okay.
they're like little gummy bears. So it was so delightful and shocking because I mean, maybe you all have had some
Never
type
had
of
that.
ice cream like thing with beans on it, but Man.
It doesn't look great, Kevin.
I had it twice.
Seemed interesting.
It's
Is it-
amazing.
Is
doesn't
it like
look-
food or
good.
dessert? Like what's the
It's
when do you
dessert.
eat
Yeah,
this?
it's dessert. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Yeah. So you start with the
Sweet.
dumplings, then you walk across the street and get Soul and Beans for dessert.
oh, man.
I clearly am hanging out with the wrong people.
You're going to In-N-Out. You
Yeah.
went to In-N-Out twice in Vegas. And,
Yeah,
all right, In-N-Out is good, but is it like amazing?
it's not going twice.
It's not going
Yeah,
twice.
it's not.
But you
Yeah,
know,
it's over-
Sam, if your son
overrated. We
wanted
should do that
Sam.
sometime. Overrated, underrated instead of love and hate. That's
Ooh,
that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Overrated. In and out.
overrated is AI right now. That's for sure. So I hate.
Ooh.
I hate AI right now. That's hate is a strong word, but I really, really don't like you. That's a song. Yeah, it's just I feel like after the show, and I sound like an old man, or I look like Tom Hanks in the movie Big. Now I feel like an old man referencing that. Where he's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I do get it. I think we're still like the application and usefulness. It just isn't there yet for us for buying a home, which has such a long selection process, or as far not selection like you're choosing selections, but like it's not like you're doing it in a day and it's super quick. And it's like, what should you buy? Here, do this, and AI is going to figure it out for you. It's like I don't know. And then you think about the marketing side, we are benefiting from it, but to me, it's actually causing worse results than better results. So it's just kind of distract. It's like the new TikTok is a new Pokemon Go, except now it's been reinforced because it was heavily discussed and everyone's talking about it. Then my love, I restarted my love for my Nespresso coffee maker.
Ooh,
Hey, you know what?
Nespresso.
on my spin, I
We're back
guess
together.
it's like a Nespresso knockoff in the sense that I just choose the espresso button and then I add hot water to it like an Americano, which I think is more or less what Nespresso does too, right? Like if you do a larger size.
Nespresso is like the better tasting Keurig.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be
It's
in
the
an
same.
espresso.
What you could do is there's the what's the
can
call?
do
But then you can
espresso.
add the larger size that adds more
Yeah.
water to it. So it's essentially like if you do a
Yes.
full coffee cup Nespresso, you're getting an Americano, right? I mean, I don't know
Yes.
coffee really that well either.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's
that's-
all. It just tastes better than
I
Keurig.
think you're right.
And there's
it's
like
got the
what's it
crema on
called?
top
There we
that's
go. What's the stuff on top? Crema.
I'm kicking myself for giving my Nespresso machine away.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did.
You know.
Well, I think I
did.
know what my client needs to get you for Christmas.
just
I
wait.
mean,
Just wait.
let's just
Christmas
put it
in
out there in
July.
the
That's a thing.
universe.
Mike Lyon.
All right,
James
everyone.
Espresso.
That'll do it for this week. Will, you know where to find us. Let's get you on the show.
Yeah.
Everyone have a
us
great
out.
week. We'll see you next time.
Ah.